Hey guys, welcome to Keynotes with Keisha, where I provide notes on the culture, mainly via book and film or TV analyses. If you are a subby, welcome back. If you are new here, subscribe. You're going to love it here. I promise. Give you a second to do that. Okay, what I have for you today is a recap review, 5-minute recap review of Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2 of The Upshaws. What a wonderful... First off, let me say, if you didn't watch season 1 of the Upshaws, go back to Netflix, click season 1 and watch it. I am so upset I didn't review season 1, but season 1 is really good, really funny. That of last year's family comedy shows that were released, black family comedy shows that were released, The Upshaws was definitely in my top 5, like easily. So funny, so forward moving, realistic. This video again is going to be episodes 1 and 2. Before I get into it, go ahead and make sure you like this video, comment when you feel like commenting, and of course make sure you are subscribed and get me to those 500 subbies by the end of the summer. I thank you so much. So let's get right into it. Episode 1 of season 2. Now, if you remember, season 1 left off where a little girl shows up, a little girl around 8 or 9 shows up on their doorstep saying that she is Benny's daughter. So of course everybody's like, mind you, in season 1 we learned that Benny had an outside child, and he has project twins or ghetto twins. His daughter Aaliyah and his son Kelvin are born so close in age that people could mistake them for twins. Matter of fact, were they born the same day? Yeah, they were born the same day. So he already has a set of ghetto twins. So this little girl shows up on a doorstep saying she's Benny's daughter. Everybody's looking at Benny like, what? Baby girl. It's like, so when do I get a twin? You know? Is this my twin? When do I get a twin? But turns out it's not Benny Sr.'s daughter. It is Benny Jr.'s daughter, which makes everybody go, even more so, because remember, we found out in season 1 that Benny Jr. is gay. So turns out that he went to the prom with one of his really good girlfriends at the time, and they did what they had to do, or what teenagers do on prom night, and they made a child. Of course he had no clue about it until the little girl ran away and showed up on his doorstep after snooping through her mom's social media. So this episode is pretty much showing us how everyone is taking the news of Benny having an unknown daughter, or possibly having a daughter. Let me look at my notes real quick. Aaliyah and baby, I can just call her baby girl because I can never remember her name, but Aaliyah and the youngest girl, baby girl, they've they're talking to the niece, telling her what's going on, how Benny is still on the couch. And we know first season Benny was put out of the room, out of the spouse suite, because Benny stole the money from Regina's account and bought the baby mama a car. So they're giving her the rundown on the family. And of course the parents are kind of, the mom, Regina, and Lucretia, his aunt, are kind of in doubt, like, is this his child for real? What's T? So of course they're trying to get Benny, they eventually try to get Benny to do a paternity test, which Benny refuses because, again, this was his really good friend. He trusts her, and he doesn't think that this child is not his. It gets so crazy that Regina, the mom, tries to swab Benny's cheeks for a DNA sample while he's asleep. So this leads Regina to question why Bernard, Benny Sr., I'm gonna call Benny Sr. Benny, and Bernard Bernard is going to be Benny Jr. Okay, so she questions her husband Benny as to why he's not doubtful that the child is Bernard's. And she asks, is it because that makes you a little bit more alright with him being gay? And honestly, Benny's response was kind of considerate, or thoughtful, in the sense of, he said he was, he doesn't know if his son will ever find the right one and and settle down and be able to, get some random white lady to carry their child. So if his son can have a child now and have a family now and be happy with it, he was cool with it. But the mama is the mama, the auntie is the auntie, and they still want to know, like, is this baby the baby? So they end up going to the baby mama's house, in a sense, and ask her, will she swap her daughter so they could test? And she tries to tell them, like, if you feel comfortable going behind Bernard's back, then sure. And she's like, they're like, yeah, let us in. They're hilarious. So meanwhile, the children, the girls, they're like, okay, so Benny had an outside baby, and all of these children keep popping up. Now we got a new niece. We need to see our birth certificates. These children are so funny. We need to see our birth certificates. We need to know that our parents are really our parents. To which Regina responds like she would slap the black off them if they don't get out her face. So that's pretty much the episode when we find out that Bernard has a daughter, or possibly has a daughter, and the family is adjusting to not only learning that Bernard has a daughter, but Benny Sr. is still in the doghouse for stealing that money back in season 1. Also, the episode ends with Benny in the car with another woman. What's tea? That's the episode 1 recap. Let's jump into episode 2. Okay, so episode 2 starts off. They're in the kitchen. Benny's phone is like pinging, and he's smiling and laughing. That's what's up to the phone. And of course, Lucretia's there, and Lucretia's like, why are you doing all that chuckling? What's so happy go lucky on your phone? And he's like, mind your business. So shortly after, he rushes out to go to the shop, he says. But he's like crisply dressed, like he's doing like a little Sears photo shoot or something. And that's suspicious. But Regina's like, oh, we trust each other, we made amends, we're getting to the right space, I'm not gonna be suspicious. Lucretia's like, nah girl, you need to stop worrying about the school supplies, because it's back to school time for everybody. The twins are going, the ghetto twins, they're going to high school. So she's doing shopping for both Kelvin, the outside baby, and her daughter Aaliyah, and everybody else. But Lucretia's like, girl, forget them school supplies, stealing from the office. We need to figure out why Benny is chuckling at his phone and leaving the house dressed to the T. And she's like, we good. But of course, once the seed is planted, Regina ends up at the shop asking for Benny, but just so happened Benny has already left with this woman that we know now, whose name is Darlene. He leaves with this woman, and of course Regina is at the shop questioning the employees, like, where is he? And nobody has a good answer. Everybody's stammering and stumbling over themselves. So she calls his phone like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm at the office, lying, because she's standing in the middle of the office and he's not there. So he lies and tells her he's at the office. And so now she really thinks he's cheating. So meanwhile, the twins are, they're trying to go back to school, enter high school. Their friend Savannah is over. They're picking out outfits and talking about how they want to be presented. Or, Aaliyah's really worried about being popular in high school because she wasn't really popular in junior high or middle school. And she really wants to make a name for herself. And how it came so easily for her brother Kelvin And so she know Kevin doesn't understand the struggle. She wants Kevin to agree to telling people that they are real twins, not ghetto twins. She doesn't like the cloud that ghetto twins cast over her reputation. So she's trying to convince Kelvin to tell the people that they're real twins. And Kelvin's like, nah, if they got a problem with what I am and who I am, we can fight about it. Not him and Aaliyah, but the people. And he's like, no, I'm not lying. That's that. So meanwhile, we learned that Benny is not actually cheating on Regina. He's with a picky customer. She's test driven this Camaro 4 times and she will not buy it. She won't buy it. She's just really picky. So he's having to like go out of his way, drive her here, drive her there, like just really sell this Camaro to her, and it's taking up a lot of time. The reason why is he's keeping it secret though is because Regina, he wants to pay Regina back her money plus some more, because Regina is going back to school and he wants her to be able to use that money to pay for her furthering her education. He wants it to be a surprise. So he's not cheating on his wife. He's trying to surprise her, but this is blowing back in her face because Lucretia will not let this go. Like, he's cheating on you. She even goes as far as to get the phone records and tell the phone records from the shop that they work at, and tell Regina that Benny has been receiving phone calls from this same woman day after day for such and such amount of days. So that makes Regina even more suspicious. And they end up at Bernard's baby mama's house because she's a cop, and they ask her to run a phone number. They are crazy. Of course, Regina confronts Benny with the findings, and he's like, bro, I'm not cheating on you. I'm trying to buy you, like, I'm trying to sell this car so you can go get your schooling, like pay for your schooling. And she's like, that's really sweet. And she gives him some. But then Lucretia comes right back around and is like, look. She pulls up the footage of the shop. She was like, if he stole that car, why it's still in there? Girl, yeah, the car's still in there because he was supposed to replace the tires and do an oil change before the lady would sign off, because she's a picky customer. And I don't blame her for asking for that, by the way. So they go to the shop, cause a big hoorah, and Regina keys this car. The buyer walks in, sees the car key, and she's like, I'm not buying this shit. So yeah, that's pretty much the episode. Anyways, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed those recaps of episodes 1 and 2 of the Upshaws. Don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.